this phone call today from a lovely lady. Her name is Jackie, and she owns not too far from here on 61st Street, 16070 61st Street at the Trump Plaza. Yeah.
Right.
And that building, to me, has always been an interesting building because the maintenances have always been high. They've never owned the land. They presumably just bought the land, and she wants to sell. So she's looking for something in us to market differently from other firms. I wanted to just, first of all, thank you for the opportunity to meet with you. And I'm a 30-year veteran in the business, and this is the first time that I actually thought meeting with you, a customer, a potential seller, would be so interesting, not just for me, but for all the consumers and all the brokers to hear from the seller directly. Why sell your apartment? What's going on with you? What's your motivation to call me in today? And I just kind of wanted to explore that with you. So thank you very much for this time.
Oh, well, it's my pleasure. Basically, the reason I was motivated to have you come up and meet with me and to understand what I might be doing going forward was you came highly recommended with your experience. And to me, experience is very, very important in an industry that I'm unfamiliar with because it's not my playing ground. So I like to respect somebody that has a very strong domain in the marketplace. And so I appreciate you taking the time to meet with me also.
What was the reason you bought at that time, 20 years ago?
I had just moved back from Dallas, Texas. I wanted to be in this part of town for a lot of different reasons. Firstly, I'm an uptown girl. Secondly, the convenience for me is key. The transit system here is incredible. It was very easy because I just walk a half a block and I would take the train and I would be at my office. I'm also an avid shopper. And God, this area has the best shops in the world. I have Bloomingdale's on one side and I have Bonnie's to the other side, and I have every desirable shop on Madison Avenue. I love to walk, so for me to go to the museums was really easy. And then I would take my bicycle out and go to Central Park and bike ride, which was very, very convenient because it's only a couple of blocks away. Living in this part of the city was home away from home. This part of Manhattan has beautiful townhouses lined up on the streets with beautiful greenery and flowers. What really sold me on was having a terrace. That was the best. I couldn't have a yard in New York, so I have my terrace up in the air, and it's all filled with flowers and shrubbery, and so it gives me the feeling of being out in the suburbs, and I love it.
Before you even walked in the door, what did the name Trump mean to you?
Trump meant prestige, and Trump was a landmark of New York.
The building came to all its shareholders and said, we want to own the land. That's great in concept, but now it's going to cost. It's going to cost everybody here, each shareholder, a lot of money. When you were told that you had to pay 6 figures, a large 6-figure amount, how did you feel about that?
I took a deep breath. My initial reaction was I was in shock. But then when I started to delve through and understand the dynamics of everything, it made sense. I understood why the property was so important to the building and what the value was going to bring to the apartment and why those numbers were significant dollars. I began to become calmer about the situation, realizing that within time it was going to appreciate probably more than what it is now based on all the new real estate that's going up in the neighborhood. It's booming here. We have the 2nd Avenue train that's going to be completed shortly.
A lot of construction.
A lot of construction going on here, and it's going to be all premium, high-end, luxury units. And those buildings are going to have apartments that are going to be larger than mine, so mine becomes even more special because there's going to be less one-bedrooms in New York.
I have that theory, yes.
Less one-bedroom, especially one-bedroom premium. This is premium.
Right.
One-bedrooms left in New York for people to be able to use.
Developers can't build one-bedrooms 1,000 square feet today and charge what we're looking to get, $1,745,000 for your apartment. It's impossible for them to buy new development, build, especially on the 20th floor, with a terrace, beautiful views, and to be able to, in return, get $1,745,000 and make a profit. So the profit margin for a developer today doesn't exist. I agree with you. So the building, the co-op lined up some bankers.
Yes.
They lined up Miller Samuels, who's a very well-known appraisal company, Jonathan Miller, who's terrific, Cushman Wakefield, probably the #1 commercial company. How did they evaluate and assess the land? What did they pay? $200 million? Is that right?
The land was a little bit less.
A little bit
With
less?
the closing costs, I believe it netted out at $190 million. And if you looked at comparables in this neighborhood over the last year, for the square footage of what this land was, we were probably lower in purchasing prices than other land purchases in this neighborhood.
But that $180 million, $190 million, all of a sudden you're looking at that number and saying, well, yes, we always wanted to own the land, but no, we really didn't, because
Right.
when you really look at it, and had it been owned a long time ago, these numbers would be very different. But today, the value of land is so high, and it's not like someone's knocking down this building and building a brand new building, but you're asked to accept this $190 million new value with, I don't know if it was shopped, if there were other buyers, was this a bidding war, or this was the price, fair price?
Well, it was market value, and it was interesting because Mr. Trump, who owns several units in this building,
Oh, okay, great.
when this had transpired, he said this was phenomenal for the building because it was going to bring it up to the next level.
And it was probably something he would have liked to own himself.
I am sure.
At the time, and during that time, and even today, did you think I'd rather own a condo than a co-op at any point in time?
Going back to when the building decided to purchase the land this past year, it was very, very positive because now we're going to be on the same trading zone as the competition. And that's a real plus because we're no different, or we could be even better than the other buildings in this neighborhood. We're on a beautiful, beautiful street. We have a beautiful entranceway. We're not curbside. You have a whole plaza. We have a courtyard. You walk into a lobby that is double fold in terms of height. It's very luxurious. It's all windows, and those other buildings don't have what we have to offer. In the spring and the summer, you feel alive. You see everything bloom. At night, it's absolutely magnificent. And in the night when, the sky changes color and the city lights come on, you begin to sparkle. You just feel the city never sleeps at night.
Here we are today. We're going to, hopefully after this, we're going to start marketing this apartment. We're making sure that the consumer understands some of the history and some of the present value, and then clearly hinting towards the future value. We never know with certainty what the future is. We can only surmise, and I've seen the trends, and I've seen so many units trade for what was $400,000 today is $5 million. And I do 100% believe that this property tomorrow and next month and the year after is going to be worth even more. First of all, so thank you for entrusting me. I'm not a large firm, but what I am is somebody who you can count on, and I'm going to do my best for you. And I feel like this was so important to have some time, and we're going to talk some further, have some time, and let everybody hear
Well,
your
I
story.
purposely selected a boutique firm, just how I represent this building as a boutique building.
That's true. Thank you. Thank you very much.